When George is recognized for 2 minutes.
I thank the gentleman for yielding. Mr. Speaker, the Affordable Care Act is not working for too many Americans. I welcome all efforts to lower cost, to increase choice, and to protect those with pre-existing conditions. Remember, the very first floor vote we pushed as Republicans this Congress was to solidify protections for those with pre-existing conditions. It was the first thing we did. We did it right out of the gate. While Republicans have stood ready to work on lowering costs and increasing choices, so far the Democrats, the Democratic majority, have only tried to double down on the ACA. On the Energy and Commerce Committee, the only solution we've seen from Democrats are partisan bills that throw billions of unpaid-for dollars at a broken system, at a failed experiment. If my Democratic colleagues were serious about helping patients, they would work with us on reforms to lower costs and increase choices. The fact is, we could vote on independent legislation that protects patients with pre-existing conditions. The fact is, if my Democratic colleagues were serious about their concerns over this lawsuit, they could legislatively end this lawsuit once and for all. We could vote to repeal the individual mandate. That would immediately invalidate the lawsuit. They could vote to reinstate the individual mandate penalty. That would also stop the lawsuit in its tracks. But instead, we're here to vote on a resolution about politics, not solutions. It's clear that Democrats would much rather try to score political points than to protect the ACA. They would have surprised me 2 years ago, but now the Democratic Party seems to have already moved on from the Affordable Care Act. Instead of truly working on improvements to the ACA, Democrats are focused on their $32 trillion plan to kick 152 million people off their insurance for their one-size-fits-all government-run health care plan. I encourage my Democratic friends to stop the politics and to work with us to protect those with pre-existing conditions, to lower health care costs, and to increase choices for patients. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I yield.